Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Good morning, and first of all, I would like to thank the organization of this WestMED Hackathon for the kind invitation to our national agency here in Portugal. I only have 5 minutes, I know I'll try to respect it. The Erasmus program, probably all of you already heard of it, and we do not deal in particular with blue economy. Still, we have several funding possibilities, and some of them can relate to this area in particular. So it's not this way, the other way. Okay, so this is a program not made for a specific sector, but for several sectors in particular. This is the EU program, or the European Union program, for the areas or sectors of education, training, youth, and sports. These are considered nowadays for the European area as key areas to allow and to promote a more European identity, more jobs, social cohesion, and sustainable growth. So it can be materialized throughout projects focused on mobility of individuals for a learning experience, or in cooperation projects. We will see in the next slide several possibilities or formats. And also it is a program that aims to produce policy reforms within the European area. So, in summing up, it intends to promote and to facilitate the circulation of ideas, of best practices and knowledge exchange between European citizens, and in some specific actions between Europe and some other continents. And this is why I bring these funding possibilities here today. So we have, the program is divided into 3 main actions. One for mobility of individuals. So here is where we can find, for instance, an Erasmus student that has a learning experience abroad. And as you probably know nowadays, this is not an experience only allowed to European students. So we can invest in our students, whether we talk about European countries or African countries, for instance. We also have partnerships for cooperation, partnerships for innovation, and partnerships for excellency with different characteristics and fundings and level of funding, and also policy development key action, which is key action 3. This particular slide is, in my opinion, quite relevant because it allows you to understand within the context of, for instance, the dialogue 5+5, so involving European countries and at the same time countries from the South Mediterranean region. We have several possibilities of funding, and this will allow your institutions to work together, for instance, with professional or vocational schools, with universities, with research centers, in order to, for instance, develop new curricula, develop new professional profiles, to train, to develop skills to your young people or to your researchers in general. So, related to mobility experiences, we have international mobility projects, and we also have virtual exchanges as a way of preparing future projects or future collaborations among institutions. We have 3 types of partnerships for cooperation, innovation, and excellency. What you see here in the green color is what is managed by national calls. This means that in each country, for example in Portugal, the national agency for the program manages these green calls here, or these green actions. The blue ones are European calls. So this means that we are usually talking about larger scale projects and possibilities, and larger fundings as well. So I do not have the time to develop this in depth, but just for you to know, all of these actions that you can see here allow cooperation activities, mobility activities, and exchange between Europe and South Med countries, for instance, but still the coordination of the project has to remain on the European side. This is only, an expected deadlines. If some of your institutions are interested, we will launch a new call for the next year in late October, early November, and we will have specific deadlines for each one of these actions, but all of them will be placed between early February and late April. So I think this is it. Thank you so much for your attention.